The views and opinions expressed do not necessarily reflect those of Access Fort Wayne, the Allen County Public Library, or any other supporting groups. If you'd like to produce a show, call us at 260-421-1250.
Hello, this is Patty Hunter. This is my show called Patty's Page. Today's guest will be Jim Moffatt. Jim Moffatt is a blues, folks, pop, root music singer, and I'd like to introduce you to him. Jim, are you on the line?
Hi, Patty.
Hi, sweetheart. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
You're calling all the way from British Columbia on Canada.
Yes, I am.
So, welcome. Welcome to my
much.
show.
Pleasure to be here.
We're talking at the same time. What were you saying?
I said, thanks a lot. It's a pleasure to be here.
Oh, thank you. Well, I've been talking to you for quite some time now, and it's good to see you. We see your picture up on the screen here, and your name is Jim Moffatt, folk singer. That's what we have underneath your name. So, where are you originally from?
I was born in southwestern Ontario, and a place called Lighthouse Cove.
What's it like? What was it like living there?
Oh, it was great. It's a little, what would you call it? It's a small community. It's like a population of 10 in the winter time and maybe 4,000 in the summer.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Is it like a winter sport type town?
It's basically a fishing town because it's right on the mouth of the Thames River going into Lake St. Clair. So in the summertime, the big thing is going fishing and skiing and swimming, and in the summertime, it's ice fishing and snowmobiling and traveling the ice up and down the rivers and lakes.
When did you move to British Columbia then?
1991.
1991?
Yep.
That's 20 years ago, my friend.
Yeah, it's the longest I've ever lived in one place, actually. I think I'm going to stay here.
You think you're going to stay another 20 years, you mean?
Oh, yeah, at least.
Well, Bob and I, my husband and I, have been married for 20 years. April 27th, 1991. That's a long time.
Yeah, congratulations. That's a good one.
So, you are a folk singer and blues and pop and all that. What's roots music?
I'm sorry?
What is roots music?
Roots music just means any music that's easily replicable.
You write your own?
Oh yeah, yeah. I like writing songs, and I write a lot of my stuff. Not all of it. Sometimes I have songs that friends wrote, or I just do what we call cover tunes too, because I think some cover tunes are really good songs. I mean, that's why they get out there.
I'm wearing your T-shirt, by the way.
Ah, cool.
And I have your mug right here. So I'm showing that to the audience.
Yeah.
I've been using your mug every day.
Yeah, I like those mugs myself. Actually, they're pretty handy. That was my first endeavor into the, putting product out so it's promotional, and I'd never done that before. So I'm learning a lot of this stuff right now, actually.
So you have a website, right?
Yep, I do.
So see if they can put it up. Is it what? They're going to put the website up now. If they can. Jim.
I'll just say it to you too.
What is it again?
www.reverbnation.com/Jim Moffatt.
Oh, Reverb Nation. So your website is www.jimmoffatt.ca then?
That's my own personal website. You bet.
Oh, good.
That's a site that I have to maintain. And to be honest with you, it just links everything back to Reverb Nation. So I always tell everybody just to go there anyway.
That's cool. How long have you had this website?
Just a couple of years.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. Like I said, all this promotional stuff is really new to me. I've been playing and writing songs and singing around for over 35 years. Yeah, over 35 years.
Oh, my.
But I never tried to promote it, other than, hey, can I play here? You know, I'm looking for a gig. Do you guys pay any money? I'd like to make a living. Other than basic root stuff, I never went out and tried to do any promotion at all. Until about a year ago, I started to actually push it a little harder. Maybe a year and a half ago.
Well, I have heard you sing, and you have a very lovely voice. I enjoy your singing. We have your CD here. I'm going to play a little bit later one of your songs called The Wizard, but not right now.
Okay.
So, how did you get into the music business? I mean, what brought you into it?
Oh, when I was really little, the guy that lived next door had this beautiful blonde Gretsch guitar.
Wow.
And he kept it in a closet, and I used to sneak next door and steal it. My parents would freak because the guy next door would come looking for his guitar, and I'd be in the bedroom, and I'd have it in the bedroom, and I'd be sitting there playing and trying to figure out how to play guitar. And I was like 4, 5 years old when I was doing it.
Oh, you really started early. Oh, my goodness.
I loved that guitar. I don't know why, but it was like the minute I saw it, I went, wow, I like that. You know, and it didn't occur to me that I wasn't too small to do anything with it, and I really was. But, yeah. So then when I turned 7, they bought me my first guitar.
Yeah.
And I've been playing ever since.
You taught yourself?
Yes.
So how long
Pardon?
What'd you say?
I said I've had lessons from some real good folk. Rick Bachner, I took lessons from for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And Michael Sampson. But mostly, yeah, just self-taught at home. It was actually like my refuge when I was growing up. My parents were pretty rough on themselves. And the best thing for me to do was to hide and stay out of the way. So I just grab my guitar and go hide in the basement.
Is your dad still around?
Oh, no, he passed away years ago.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, don't be sorry. He lived a good life. Or at least he lived a long life.
Well, he had a son like you, so he must have been a good father.
Yeah, thanks.
I understand that you have been instrumental with the creation of Art of the Song. What's that?
Oh, that's a songwriters group we have here in Victoria. We meet every other Sunday from September to May or June. Then we stop for the summer. So we're just about ready to get started up again.
So what do you do?
2 years now.
What do you do?
Mostly at my house.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. Yeah, we meet, we drink coffee, we talk songwriting.
Like a workshop?
Show each other what we've done.
Like a workshop?
Yeah, basically, yeah. Yeah, it's very much a social, focused gathering.
That's good. How many people in the group?
Anywhere from 4 to 15.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, it's been really interesting because we do have a core group of 4 people that I know are going to show up.
Yeah.
And then the other folk, they come 2 or 3 months, and then they'll be gone for a couple of months, and they'll come for another month or so, and then they'll be gone for a couple of months. But it's basically, we talk about songwriting, and sometimes it takes a little while to digest everything you've learned and make it, part of what you think, or maybe not, because you don't have to believe everything you hear, right?
That's true.
That's right. That's so true.
You have
There's lots of...
Sorry, continue. I didn't mean to do that.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. Go ahead, Patty.
Yeah, we're Canadian, all right. We like to say sorry a lot. You have a you have a debut CD. It's called Live at Crystal Gardens.
Yes, it is.
And
It's,
how
can I
old
tell
is
you a
that?
little story about that?
Hmm?
Can I tell you a little story about that CD?
Sure.
Okay. That CD was recorded at a place called Crystal Gardens here in Victoria. I was actually the opening act for Utah Phillips and Rosalie Sorrell. And they're two folk legends that I just held in the absolute highest esteem forever. And I was so lucky to get to open for them. And so grateful, because this was like a big thing for me. And like I said, I didn't do a lot of promotion, so this was the first time I ever saw my name on a poster even. It was pretty cool. And they recorded the session. They recorded the whole thing into a thing called a DAT tape.
Yeah, I've heard
And
of
gave
that.
me a copy of it. And I was smart enough at the time to ask the engineer to record the guitar part to the left and the vocal part to the right. And then I stuck it in a drawer.
Oh, yeah.
And because I had no idea about digital recording, I knew analog recording, but I didn't know anything about digital and DAT and everything. Didn't have the money or the wherewithal to do anything with it. Then, like I said, 3 years ago, I bought a Pro Tools system. Basically, used that DAT tape as my first learning experience to learn how to mix and master. In the tape, when you're listening to the song and it's on the tape, every now and again you'll hear what sounds like somebody letting out a breath, going like that.
Yeah.
And when you hear that, that's actually this big macaw that was in this room where I was playing, screaming. And so here I am playing these songs and this soft ballad sometimes, and all of a sudden, right in the middle of it like that. It's like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? And I learned how to go in and edit sound waves. And the best thing that I could do was turn that into what sounded like a sigh. And mixed it down so it worked. So I've had people come up to me that were there and go, wow, this is great. You can't even hear the birds. And I'm just sitting there going, yeah, that's cool. I like that. It's good.
That bird's still there?
No, the whole place is gone.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah, our provincial government went in and decided that they were going to turn it into this BC exhibit, which basically failed, and now it's just empty space.
Oh, my. And that...
Yeah, things change.
We have, how much time do we have? We don't have too much time. We have about maybe another 15 minutes. You have 2 sons.
Yes, I do.
And
Yes, you do.
from your first marriage.
Uh-huh.
And I understand that you worked for Greenpeace. Let's talk about that.
Sure. I was executive director for Greenpeace in Northern Ontario for 1977, 78, 79, I think.
And what was the
Long
boat?
time ago.
What was the boat called?
Oh, I was on a boat called the Peacock. That was an anti-whaling protest that left from Port's Call restaurant in L.A., and we traveled out towards Vostok, Russia, a couple of days past the date line, I guess. Connected with the Russian whaling fleet. I was a Zodiac driver, and would drive a Zodiac, position the boat in between the killer ship and the whale, so that harpooners couldn't harpoon the whale without the cable coming down and hitting our Zodiac, or the harpoon hitting our Zodiac.
Was it a big boat you were on?
The Zodiacs are about 20 feet long, and so you're out in a 20-foot boat in the middle of the ocean.
Wow.
The Peacock itself, I think, was about 120 feet, as I recall. And it was a wooden-hulled ex-minesweeper.
Really?
It was an old, rickety boat that had decent engines, I guess.
Oh, wow. What kind of fish did you see in those waters in the Pacific Ocean?
Oh, well, mostly we saw sharks and whales and dolphins.
Dolphins. They're my
Oh
favorite.
yeah, dolphins. Dolphins are amazing. We're motoring along one day, and the whole horizon off to the far right of us was all misty, and it looked like a low-lying fog. And we're all looking at that, wondering what that is. And one of the guys has a pair of binoculars, and he just gasps and goes, "It's dolphins." And I went, "Dolphins?" So I ran up to the lookout where they had the big, powerful set, and I was watching them, and there's like hundreds, if not thousands, of dolphins all swimming, like dolphins swim, breaking the water, coming up, breathing, going back down. And there was so many of them, it made the whole horizon look like a mist.
Oh, that must have been beautiful.
It was just absolutely wondrous. Like, I'd never seen so many of those creatures in one spot. And then a whole bunch of them ended up breaking off and coming over to our boat and play. So we actually got to go swimming with them for a while. It was
You
pretty cool.
swam with the dolphins.
Yeah, we did. We swam with the dolphins.
Now, we're going to jump ahead or behind the Olympic wrestling trials, pre-trials. Let's talk about that.
Yeah. That would be 1976 trials from Montreal.
How did that go?
Went pretty good for a guy who just walked on. In December of 75, I showed up at Thunder Bay, Ontario, and had the coach, Gord Garvey, who was national coach at the time. And I said, "Hey, Gord, my name's Jim Moffatt. I want to be in the Olympics." And he laughed. And then he checked me out a little bit and had me wrestle a couple of times. And he said, "Okay, come to the team." So I kept training every day for all that time until the spring when we had the Olympic trials, and I finished third.
Wow.
Yeah, I did really good. Only the first and second got to go to the Olympics, so I missed all the marching and stuff. But I got to, see the Olympics and be there and be as an alternate, so that was pretty cool.
That was good. I went to the Olympics in 1967. Was it 1967? No. It was 1970 something, 74 or whatever, in Montreal, eh?
Yeah, 76.
76, wow.
Yeah.
And I saw the judo trials, Olympic trials, and it was pretty good. I was into that in those days. I mean, I don't know anything about judo or karate or anything like that, but I was always fascinated by that and fencing.
Yeah, I like judo too.
So what kind of wrestling were you doing?
I was doing freestyle and Greco-Roman. Freestyle means everything goes. Greco-Roman means nothing below the waist.
Oh, so just with the hands, arms?
Yep, hands, arms, and you can't use your legs to attack or block.
So what was your best type of wrestling then? Greco?
Oh, I don't know. It's a toss-up. I just liked wrestling. I was good at both of them. I did more freestyle than I did Greco-Roman just because it was a more popular style, and most of the tournaments are freestyle. But I liked Greco-Roman too.
How about Sambo? What's Sambo wrestling?
Oh, Sambo was a thing they came up with for a while. It was a combination of... Oh, you did your homework. It was a combination of judo and freestyle wrestling. And basically, the wrestler showed up on the mat wearing his wrestling uniform, his wrestling gear, and boots and shoes and knee pads and stuff, whatever wrestlers wear. But he also wore the top of a gi, a jacket.
Ah.
And so you could use the chokeholds, you could use throws, arm bars, things like that.
And you can grab the jacket, right?
Yeah.
And throw them around?
Oh, yeah.
Are you allowed to do that?
Yep.
Absolutely. Did you break anything when you were working as a wrestler or doing the trials?
Oh, yeah. Well, every wrestler gets hurt once in a while, and I had my share. I broke my nose more times than I care to count. It got to the point where it was just, like I said, just routine. Oh, you broke your nose again? Yeah, and I grab it, put it back in place, and keep on going. But yeah, I got broken bones. We all do. That's just part of the sport.
But you enjoyed it though. How long were you doing that again? Just several years, or?
Oh yeah, it was for several years. It was. My last wrestling, I think, was 79.
79.
Yeah.
Many
So I
moons
wrestled-
ago.
Pardon?
Many moons ago. I like saying that word.
Oh, yeah, it was a lifetime ago. Oh, yeah.
How old are
was a
you?
57.
You're 2 years younger than me.
Well, there you go. See, I'm just a youngster. You know, it's funny because in Canada, and probably a lot in the States, with the exception of the folk community, all the other music venues and things are always looking for the youngster, the pop stars, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And so to be a artist trying to break into the industry at this time of life,
Right.
it's hard. And
Yeah.
what I do have going for me is I do have a pretty good show. You know, I do well when I'm on stage. And the fact that I'm tenacious, you know, I hardly ever take no for an answer, at least
Yeah.
never the first time.
That's cool.
And I work at my craft. You know, like I like to write songs. I've got a new song coming out.
Oh, yeah.
It's a video, actually. It's the first one I've ever done. A bunch of university students here approached me and said, hey, we'd like to do a video of some of your songs. And they came to me with, one of them was The Wizard they were going to do,
Yeah.
and a couple of other songs. And I went, well, you know, those are good songs that would make a good video, but I got this new one. And they said, what is it called? And I said, well, it's called either The Revolution or Boss on a Spit. Not sure which yet. And I gave him the lyrics.
Yeah.
And he started to laugh, and he goes, this will make a great video. And that was exactly the reaction I wanted, because it's kind of a shocking concept. I mean, Boss on a Spit. Kind of a shocking concept. But it's funny. It's supposed to be just funny.
It is tongue-in-cheek.
Oh, all the way. Yep. Tongue so far up my cheek, my head's lopsided. It's great.
Oh, I like you, man. You're doing all right.
Thanks. So they're doing this anyway. They're doing the video. We've done the shots. It's got a young me and an old me. So I play the old me. And it starts out when it's the young me going and working for this guy who's just so abusive. And then it ends with the old me and the whole crew from the business all partying together and having a good time. And I'll just leave it to your imagination to figure out what happens in between.
Can we put on The Wizard right now and we can talk about it right after?
Sure.
Okay. Are we ready yet to put on the song? So here we go.
Sailor stands upon the dock, admiring the craft that floats there at the waterline, so proudly painted last. Eager to get underway in irons and raise the sails, and he'll never be the same again if he lives to tell the tale. Sailing the North Cumberland, the cold relentless strait, at the wheel all night while an eastern gale left us wondering our fates. But the skipper knew his boat like other men may know their wives, and we sailed in through the council locks in the early morning light. And old sailors will tell you, boy, sea's no easy life. And if you don't believe me, boy, then go and ask me wife. Have you ever been to Rusty Cove? The folks there like their beer, and they work real hard at the Irish moss, and you can make a buck, I hear. Well, old Daly got too drunk one night after selling a big load, and he lied there on the road and died, and God only knows what for. remember lighthouse keeper in some old forgotten bay. And he fed me tea and oranges, and he listened to me play. He said, I've been here for 20 years, 20 years or more. And me son comes down from Halifax in the summertime for sure. And old sailors will tell you now, sea's no easy life. And if you don't believe me, boy, then go and ask me wife. Sailing the North Cumberland, the cold relentless strait, at the wheel all night while an eastern gale left us wondering our fates. But our skipper knew his boat like other men may know their wives, and we sailed in through the Council locks with the early morning light. And old sailors will tell you now, the sea's no easy life. And if you don't believe me, boy, then go and ask me wife.
Jimmy, me boy.
Yes, ma'am.
It wasn't the wizard, was it?
No, ma'am.
No, man. But I don't, I'm sorry about that, but I enjoyed, what's the name of that song?
Well, I couldn't hear it, to be honest. But
Oh.
if it was the same song you played at the warm-up, it would be called Lighthouse Keeper's Lament.
That was good. I enjoyed that song. I'm glad we played that one.
Good. Yeah, me too. It's a good song.
Yeah, you are one excellent folk singer. And I enjoy listening to your music.
Thanks.
So what's the weather like there now, dear? Oh, we got 1 minute left. Oh, my stars, I'm going to have to sign off. Thank you, Jim, for being my guest here. I'd like to have you on again, if I may,
Sure.
sometime. So,
Absolutely. Anytime, Patty.
yeah, I do enjoy talking with you, and you play well and excellent. I love Canadian music, really. So this is Patty Hunter of Patty's Page, and I'd like to thank you for coming on to my show and listening to my special guest today, Jim Moffatt. He's one of a kind. He's a Canadian singer, and he's one of my favorite people, my good friend, Jim Moffatt. So thank you, and have a great day, and we'll see you next week.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye, Jim.
Bye, Patty.